This is the CrownTalk podcast with ReRe. Hi out there to my Crown ones. This is Rebecca, aka ReRe. Thank you so much for pressing play. If you are enjoying CrownTalk podcast, please leave a comment and let me know. And also share with other Crown ones. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please. There is no machine behind me, so any support is welcome. Thank you again for pressing play, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Crown Talk. Don't forget your crown, and don't forget your crown. Rebecca, aka ReRe, and this is the Crown Talk podcast. And I have Miss Janae here. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Can you introduce yourself to the Crown ones out there?
Well, my name is Janae, and I have a podcast called Confessions from a Red Couch Podcast. It is a podcast all about improving the relationship with yourself so you don't take your trash to others because no one wants your unresolved issue. And
when I saw that, I was like, that makes sense, especially around this time when we're like doing the quarantine.
Exactly. Like nobody wants to deal with it. And so, you know, it comes from a place where I was at a place where I had a bunch of unresolved issues I needed to deal with. And I was like, girl, don't nobody want to deal with that foolishness. You better figure it out yourself.
Yes.
So I talk a lot about self-care and mental wellness and, you know, self-love and tips and with a little bit of sarcasm. And
I love it.
Some ratchetness. We do it all in fun and in love, but you know.
Yeah. And like you said, to be honest with yourself is to be honest with everybody else once you go out into the world. So exactly. I love it. I actually on here today because I was looking at your description and also listened to a couple of episodes of your podcast. Excuse me. One thing I realized is that me and you both love Stanley from The Office.
Yes, I do. I do. Stanley is my favorite.
He's like, I'm just here to get a paycheck.
I'm just here so I don't get fired, and I can't wait to retire. That's
right. Except for, was it Donut Day? I think when he was like, really?
Like Donut Day. He was like, don't mind if I do.
Right. Today's today. Yeah. So yes. So, oh my gosh, where do we start? How important is it for us to be aware of ourselves at this time right now?
Just my goodness, with everything that's going on with the quarantine and with what's going on, you know, this week about just all the foolishness, you have to be in tune with yourself, and you also have to know when to block everything else out. Because you have to know how it's affecting you and how it's making you feel. You know, it's one thing to get all riled up, but if you don't have anywhere to, you know, focus that or, you know, just push it out, you have to be in tune with yourself and know, okay, you know, this is over. This is too much. I'm overstimulated. So let me ground myself and bring myself back to my calm spot. It's because it's just so much going on. I mean, we have, like you said, COVID. We have the 2 murders that have happened this week. Actually, like in the past month, you know, it's just been crazy.
It has.
And so you have to remove yourself from stressful situations, know when to do that, and just bring yourself back to your own reality. Like, where are you right now at this moment?
Right. I love that because I'm always telling people that it's okay to step away from your phone. You'll be just fine. Because I think like even now with this whole thing where social media is the key to communication.
Yes.
Sometimes you can get like overburied with stuff.
It's like you could get overstimulated with it.
Yeah, because I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, one night I woke up like at 12:30 at night and I was like, I couldn't sleep. But it was like 800 people going live and I was like, I don't know who to look at.
Exactly.
What's going on?
What's happening right now?
Right. I was like, what's going on? And then, you know, I was right. I'm like, I can't keep up. And I was saying when Erykah Badu and Jill Scott did like their battle, I was like, who else is trying to go live right now?
I remember that. I was like, I'm not looking at anybody else's anything. Like, this is what I'm focusing on right here. Because this is giving me life, and I'm going to stick to this.
Yeah, I think one night like DJ Nice was live and like Idris Elba, which I love, came out of nowhere, and I was like, I don't know which one. I don't know.
What do I go to?
Right. So, but yeah, even like now with the social media, it's just like it's okay if you, like you said, put your phone down, just take a moment, just be like, okay, this is where I am right now.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I like that. Now, what made you create Confessions from a Red Couch? Like, what made you say that you wanted to put it out there?
So it started out as a blog. I actually do have a red couch, and I've been a crazy place in life. I was diagnosed with a blood clot that came like out of nowhere.
Wow.
And after that, I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, which I knew I had, but you know how you try to hide it. Like, nothing's wrong. I'm just having this panic attack,
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
I get it.
Or I can't stop crying.
Right. I can't stop thinking.
Like, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong.
Right.
And so, the doctor, after the blood clot, the doctor made me sit at home. And that is the worst thing for me because I was coaching. I just had a bunch going on. And I was like, and it kind of elevated the anxiety because I was like, I got too much. I have to do it. And he was like, no, you're going to sit home.
Oh my gosh.
Figure out what you need to do because you need to know that life goes on without you. And I was like, how dare you?
That's an insult.
How dare you, sir?
Right.
But no, I sat down on the couch and I had my laptop and I was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, you can write. You like to write. That's something you like to do. So I started the blog and just writing out my lessons that I learned in life and, my battle with anxiety and all this. And I did it for like 3 years. And I've been blogging for since then. And then about the 4th year of the blog, one of my friends invited me on this podcast. And I was like, what is a podcast? What am I doing? You have to hear my voice. I don't want anybody to hear my voice.
Right.
And the person who was over the studio that he was doing the podcast in, he was like, my friend told him, he was like, she has a blog. She needs to turn into a podcast. And I was like, no, I don't.
That's not me.
And so after we recorded, like he actually read the blog and he was like, yeah, you need to turn it into a podcast. And I was like, no, I don't.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. And then I met my husband and my husband pushed me. He was like, just do it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? And I was like, I don't know. So I started in January 2019 and it's been going since.
Wonderful. And just to step back a tab, if you don't mind just talking about it, because I didn't know. I was like in a 10-year relationship and then that ship, I call my relationship ships. So that ship ended and that's when I realized that I needed to work on things for myself because I'm 34 and I met this person I was like 24. Right. So with my with my therapist, she was like, you wasn't fully mentally developed to understand who you were before. And one thing that I did realize is that I had anxiety because I could not like stop thinking. And then like I was like alone and then just like your mind just keeps going and going. And it was just like nobody's here to like stop me from thinking.
Nobody's gonna tell me shut up. Like nobody's gonna me shut up. No, okay.
Like, so when you found out, like when you told yourself or confirmed it that you had anxiety, did that make you feel better about it or?
It didn't. I think, like I said, it was a crazy time. And might I add, I didn't even add this. So I had lost some really close family members, right? And then I got diagnosed with the blood clot that could have killed me. And then, and so that whole time, like and that was in the span of like 3 years. So I was having these panic attacks, but I was just like, the first time I had one, I thought I was having a heart attack. So my mom drove me to the emergency room. And then the last time right before I got diagnosed, it was either I couldn't stop crying or I would have it was 3 types I would have. I couldn't stop crying. I would have the panic attacks where you couldn't catch your breath, or my anger was just horrible. Like I didn't have the correct emotional responses to stuff.
Right.
So when I had the blood clot, the they give you like the insurance I had was amazing. They gave me like a medical social worker, and they were like,
wow.
is there anything else you want to, you need help with? And I say, yeah, I think I have an anxiety issue, because my primary care doctor just gave me some Xanax, and he was like, take these, you'll be fine. I hated it. Like I couldn't do it. And so from there, they did like this survey. They asked me a bunch of questions, and I was really truthful, because I figured I knew I needed help. I wasn't okay with the fact that I had anxiety, but I knew I had to get to a place where I needed help, because it was affecting all of my relationships with my family, friends, everybody. And so I just knew I needed help, and I was relieved. It felt good, but I still wasn't okay,
Right.
Like, girl, get life together.
Right. Oh no, I get it.
Get life together. You are tripping.
Right.
Yeah. And so I got, the medical social worker hooked me up with a therapist and a behavior specialist.
Oh, good.
And so we went through, going through everything, like talking to them, that's when I started feeling better. When they were like, you're not crazy, you're okay.
Right, you just need confirmation.
We get you. We understand where you're coming from. And
right.
So I think that part made me start feeling better and being able to identify and having the tools to kind of deal with all of it.
Well, that's good. I like that, because I know, like, people be like, oh, I have anxiety, and it's like they just like brush it off, and it's like, no, maybe, because even like me, I didn't, like, I knew that I had it, but then like when I was talking, because I started seeing like a counselor, because I was like, I don't like the way that I'm feeling right now. It's uncomfortable to me, and I feel like at any moment I'm just gonna pop off and end up somewhere downtown.
I feel you on that. You right there.
I was like, I don't know if I should put bail money to the side. I don't know. Something's gonna pop off. Yeah, I was just like, my mom was like, because everybody's like, are you okay? And she was like, you are not okay. And I was like, no, I'm good. And she was like, you are not good.
Yeah, my mom did the same thing. She was like, you are not okay, and you need to accept that. And I was like, I'm fine.
Right. Like, somebody telling you that you're not okay is like an insult, like, excuse me.
I was saying I'm fine when I couldn't stop crying. Like, I was like, I'm fine. And she was like, girl, no.
That was me. I was like, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm good. She was like, you can't even drive.
She was like, you can't stop crying. Stop.
Yeah. That was me. She was like, you're still crying. I can't. Even though it's your parents, so they know you, but like you said, it's like.
She was like, no, I can't.
Yeah, that's how my mom was. So from there, now what made you come up with the concept of saying, like, take care of yourself before you leave the house, because nobody wants you, which I love.
Because you have to know, okay, so there's people in the world that are good for you and people in the world that aren't, right? And everybody can form their own idea of you. But if you are not okay with yourself, you'll start feeding into every identity that somebody, you start putting your identity in what others think about you. Right. And they can get a perception of you from just one meeting, and they don't know anything else about you, or just a couple of meetings and they have no clue about you. Right. And so you have to be okay with yourself. Once you step outside your door, once you meet somebody, whatever happens, you have to be okay with yourself. Know who you are, what you're about, what you stand for, what you don't stand for, so that nobody else can feed in foolishness to you.
I love it. And like I was saying before, with this whole COVID-19 thing, and the way that people have their own opinions on the COVID-19, which I call him orange face, but I'm just like over him.
Gosh.
Over him.
I am so done.
I was watching CNN, which I try to do like 45 minutes once a week, but one of the anchors was just like, this man is tweeting the dumbest stuff ever. Why?
So have you seen the new thing? Like, he wants to get rid of fact checking on social media. Why? Because they're getting him on his lies and he can't take it. Like, social media. What is wrong with you? Like,
and now he's talking about like not wearing masks is the best thing to do, or it's not the best. So with that being said,
See, and you have to be okay. Like I know when I want to wear my mask and when I don't. You know,
right?
I have cloth masks, so I know I need to wash them. But you're
Yeah,
not gonna tell me like I'm gonna wear my mask.
right.
You
Yeah,
know?
I wear. Well, I have a mask. I do try
Mhm.
to wear them out, but people can't. Like I
Yeah.
have like a really light voice. So
Right.
when I
Yeah.
went to Home Depot, the lady was like, "I can't hear you," and I was like,
I get it. Yeah.
"Yeah." She was like, "I can't." She was like, "Actually, I think she was like deaf in one ear," and I was like, "Just my luck."
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Right. I was like, and she was like, "What's your name again?" I was like, "Okay, I have to take the mask off." But yeah, I think like now, like I was saying with the whole social media thing, I think it's like it was before like an option to be on
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
now it's just so we're so consuming it. And like you said, you
Mhm.
have to like know who you are,
Mhm.
even if you're not going outside the house, but just being on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah, you do.
Mm.
With saying that, like even while you're on social media, if somebody says something stupid, you have every right to just scroll past. You know
I
what I'm
scroll all the
saying?
time.
Like, but I had to learn that for myself as well, because every battle is not yours. It's not, and on social media, you can be the most intelligent person and somebody will make you look stupid just because they want to,
Yes,
So you know what you do? Just scroll.
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 Yes,
Just keep scrolling. Like just scroll past it. It don't
yeah,
sit well in my spirit. Scroll past it. You don't have to
right.
see it.
Yeah, I do. I'd be like, oh no, I don't. I ain't got the
Yeah.
energy.
And then you even have like, Facebook has another amazing thing where you can mute somebody for like
I
a
know
certain
that.
time. So if they really feel, just mute. If you don't want them to know you're unfriending them, you don't want to unfriend them, just mute them.
Right. That
Just
makes
put them on
sense.
snooze or mute. You ain't gotta see nothing they say.
I'm gonna start meeting people because sometimes I be like, I just,
Mm-hmm.
not today.
Not today. I can't do this.
That's not important to me at all.
I cannot deal with this foolishness.
Right. So, can you give my crown ones like 3 things to do for them to be aware of their self care, or what can they do for self care?
Just for self-care, make sure that you can, sometimes it's good to sit with yourself and look and in a quiet spot.
Mm.
And it's hard, believe me, for somebody who has anxiety. It is hard. It is hard to like just sit and quiet yourself and quiet
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts. So whenever you feel like yourself, your thoughts are racing, start to focus. I love meditation, not in the whatever sense. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not in that, but more so focusing on what my body's doing while I'm sitting in quiet. How's my breathing? Okay, girl, calm your breathing down. Where are your shoulders? Because we stress out in our shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Where are your shoulders? Drop your shoulders. So that's one thing to do while you're sitting in your quiet time, is to just focus on what your body's doing. Another self-care is to I love this one. I do this one probably once a week.
Mm-hmm.
A dance party by yourself.
Oh, I
Put
love
on
that one.
put on some good old music. And if you don't know how to dance, guess what? Nobody knows, because it's you.
Nobody,
So yeah,
right.
have your own little party. Kick it for like 10, 15 minutes. If you want to go longer, go longer. Kick it.
I love when you said that. The first thing I thought about was like, oh, I can get down the Beachella routine by now because
You can learn the whole thing.
I've been in the house long enough.
Yeah, you can do the whole thing. And if you want to, you don't even have to show anybody. Just do
Right.
it. Just do it. Moving makes you feel better. Dancing makes you feel better. And sometimes it helps you get out your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps you get out your head. And I think the last thing is, notice everything I'm saying is you by yourself. Like you don't have to rely on anyone, because I know during quarantine everybody doesn't have a family. If it was like last 2 years ago quarantine, I would have been in my house by myself.
Same.
So,
I am a introvert to the
yes.
T.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just everything that you're doing, if you're by yourself, it's good, because you need to love yourself anyways. And then also you could write affirmations on your mirror. Like if you're feeling kind of, you don't, write some good affirmations on your mirror, like 3 of them. And that way you could go to your bathroom mirror and be like, okay, I am this, and I am this, and that way you kind of pick your spirits up and help you. That comes with self-awareness, because you have to know who you are. But pick your spirits up, and like I said, it always brings you back to who you are, that self-awareness piece. When the world goes crazy, you can always bring yourself back to who you are, your core person.
I love that. Yeah, I didn't really realize well, my podcast is called CrownTalk because I believe that we all have, which I love your shirt.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I believe that
and just want to
yes, I love it. But I believe that we all have like our invisible crown. And it wasn't until I was by myself that I realized that I was crowned and that the crown was there the whole time.
Yeah.
But now it's like I think with my crown in my heart. That's why I say when my crown and my heart can align, then that means to me I'm going like the right way. But that took me like being by myself and saying, okay, this is what I like about myself, this is what I don't like about myself.
Right.
Like you said, that way when I go out and I'm dating, which whenever that's going to happen, but it's like, okay, these are things that I'm okay with. And that way, when someone's like, oh, I don't like you doing that, that's fine, I'm good. Yeah, that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was sharing with my crowns, I was like, we're in the house, so whatever we don't like about ourselves, that's just us. Like, nobody knows if our eyebrows wasn't arched. Nobody knows, right. Unless we tell people, and it's like, it's okay to just be like, okay, today I feel like crap, I'm not.
Right, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. Yeah. Because I don't want to.
Yeah. One thing that you said about the meditation, so last week I had 2 animals, but one of them passed last week. And I had to find a way to like get out my bed. Yeah. And what I did was, because you were talking about meditation as being, aware. I took, because I was like, sometimes like you do like everything like in your bed, so you don't have to get out your bed. Yeah. So I took like, anxiety, just have to just sit. So I took everything that I love to do and I put it like in my office, and I was like, I'm making myself get out of the bed. That way I can walk into my office and work from there.
And that's a good thing, because you made yourself get up.
Yeah.
And that's usually the hardest thing to do, is to make yourself get up.
Yeah, especially now, because like I'm working from home, so it's like I don't have to get up and like beat my face or
any of that.
Right. So it's like, let me just roll over.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now I understand that you did write a book. Is that correct?
I did. It's funny because when I put it in my bio, I said, you are going to have to talk about this book that you wrote, and you don't ever talk about it. So here we go.
Talk about it?
Let me talk about it. So the journey back to loving yourself is kind of like a letter that I wrote to myself back when I started the blog at the place that I was in a place where I had no clue how to love myself. And so it's just a comprehensive, like, you actually have to do the steps in order to get yourself back to loving yourself. So I talk about, figuring out your flaws, figuring out what you're good at, just bringing yourself back to who you are before all the distractions of the world got to you.
Right.
And so yes, it's a very quick read, but you have to do the exercises, and there's like space in the pages to do it.
Oh, I love it. And I'll to my crowns, I'll put the link to your book. That way they can take a look at it. That's when I was reading that, I was thinking, because back in February, like Valentine's Day, I had put a post on Instagram, and I was like, I chose to fall in love with myself this year because I'm learning myself, and sometimes we wake up and we hate everything about ourselves, and then like, not today, sis, or whatever, and then next day we be like, oh, I'm cute today, I'm slaying.
I was looking at myself the other day. I was like, you done picked up weight since you've been, y'all been quarantined. And then I put on something real, like, that's the reason why I kind of look like this. I was like, girl, you look good. Go ahead. With the extra pounds, you be all right.
That's me. My sister fusses at me because she's been working at home, but now I'm working at home. Right. And she was like, so I guess you're going to order some more crop tops. And I was like, you know it. I don't care what size I am. Okay. Right. I would be a Winnie the Pooh with some Jaggers on.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to look real cute.
Right. As long as I can feel my breeze in my belly button, I'm good.
That's it right there.
That is it. Yeah, she was like, I was like, yes, leggings and crop tops, every day.
Every day, because that's what I'm gonna do. That's what
Right.
I swear, I look at myself, I say, girl. So yesterday I went grocery shopping for my husband too, because I was like, you tripping, and we both tripping. So
Yeah, but you had the choice to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do for myself.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and your husband.
Yeah, but he kind of figured that out too. But I was like, we have to do this for ourselves.
Yeah.
We got to leave out the house at some point.
Well, I've been ordering my groceries through Walmart, which I loved. Well, before it was like 2 or 3 days backed up, but I guess everybody's going inside Walmart.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not going inside until they open up the garden center because I feel like that will be my exit.
I'm going out through the garden center.
Right. I was like, y'all saying open up the garden center? That's telling. So I've been ordering my groceries online and just picking them up. But yeah, I go out, but then like I make sure I just come like, but that's me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was watching like a Jerry Seinfeld, I think his thing on Netflix, and he was like, you go out long enough to say, okay, I need to go back home.
That's
I was like, yeah.
That's the way I feel. I think that's what I do. We went out because it was Memorial Day weekend, and we went to a small gathering, because I was like, I'm not going to be around a whole bunch of people. And then still, they were like, y'all gonna come to the after party? No. I love y'all, but my bed is calling. I'm done.
Right. Yeah. I think last night I was recording. I have 2 podcasts, so I called some another one. Yeah. And last night I didn't go home till like 10. I was like, this is the latest I've been out in like 3 months.
Right. Yeah. I'll be looking at the clock like I got somewhere to go tomorrow. Like, oh,
right.
It's late.
I said, oh no, the street lights on. I gotta go.
I gotta go. It's late. I don't know.
Right. I was like, we doing this every 2 weeks?
I don't know about all this.
Yes, I love it. So how are you, besides this staying in the house, how else are you just keeping yourself mentally checked, as I can put it?
So, like, I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but I am a teacher. And so we've been dealing with the whole online thing, and it kicked my butt. I'm not gonna lie. Like, people are like, was it easy? It was, but it's just, it was hard because I couldn't, the thing I like to have with my students, I have a relationship with my students.
Right.
So when I don't get to see them, I start worrying, like, did they eat? Are they making smart decisions and choices?
Right.
What are you guys doing right now? I could send out an email to them or remind one-on-one, but it's nothing like being in person and seeing them like,
yeah,
I'm not doing right. Like I could look at you and say, I don't do that. So that wore on me a little bit. Like it was, I think it was like maybe the second week of us doing it. No, the third week. And I remember waking up on a Monday and I was like, I can't do this. And my husband was like, girl, you just woke up. I was like, I don't want to do it no more.
Right, because you can't have that touch. Yeah.
It was like, I can't see them. When they get on this chat, I don't see their faces. So
Aww.
Yeah. But, now we're summer break, so I guess I'll figure it all out.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, my days are so mixed up. I don't have kids, but I have a nephew. And I was like, he's still in school? My sister was like, they got like a couple, that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was like, they're still school? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh.
I had the online thing going on. But other than that, I've been focusing on just, trying to make the podcast better and, get the content that I want for people to do and just listen to, give my audience what they want. And like I said, doing this because I don't like to step out and talk about myself.
Oh, me neither.
Myself.
Yeah, when people be like, so tell me about your CrownTalk podcast. I talk to people.
Let me see.
Right. I'm like, I talk to people and I recognize crowns.
Like, yeah, we talked about.
Right. Like, here's the link.
Check this out.
Yeah. That's why my mom was like, you need to like talk about yourself more. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
So from there, I always ask my guests to give me one of their crown moments. And a crown moment is either a life lesson or a life blessing that made you realize or when you felt your crown? Because I believe that there's always like a moment when you're either like, oh, I got this, or it's like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I don't got this, but I will get it.
Let's see. So my crown moment, I think, would have to be when I was writing a book, because I had never written a book before, written a whole bunch of research papers, and dissertations, but never a book. So while I was writing, I was like, ain't nobody gonna look and read this.
Right.
And it was like, but keep on typing. I was like, I'm gonna keep on typing though.
Yes.
So when I finished it and I got the copyright on it, I was like, yes.
Yes.
Did that.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Think that actually was like motivational to me, because I've started my website, and I was telling you earlier, like I'm trying to have it where there's like a sense of positivity in that space of just being on there for 4 or 5 minutes. And now it's like with everything that's going on with, I call our kings, as I say, it's just like try not to get the frustration in there, because it's just like another king has, we lost like another king, senseless. So
and it's
I know
that I sort that like the three, to say the three, to say that is just like the three that are just like, how am I saying this like in real life? From just I don't get it. I don't. And, it's one of those, like, so it's one of those things where you just have to step away, and I had to step away because it's just too much. Like with Ahmad, I was like, okay, that's straight up, that's senseless, that is murder, and that's it. But these other two, you are in police,
and one was you are in your home.
You're in your home, and the other one is you're in police custody. And police are first responders. Before they're first responders.
Yeah.
And so you just went against your code. You know what I'm saying? That you went against what you, I don't know.
Yeah. Like I was telling you, and Donlin was just like, I just want y'all to stop doing this. Like, I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can do. Like, there's nothing else. And people, with this new one, they're talking about the riots. And so, with myself being self-care and, pro self-care and all that, I'm definitely pro-Black. So
right, me too. And my sister's like, you are always woke. Like, you never take a nap.
No, I'm not going to. But my thing is, people are asking, why are they, rioting? I was like, you have to understand that's oppression and that's rage. And they don't know the proper thing to do with all of that rage that they have. So what else do you think they're going to do? It's the same thing that happened with Ronnie King. It's the same thing that happened back in the past with the Baltimore riots. It's the same thing that always happens when something happens to the Black community. We don't have the tools to express ourselves, or even when we do express ourselves, we've been told that, you're overreacting, it don't take all that. Why you take all that, and now we're seeing this is why. So the riots, I say, sorry, burn it down. Maybe somebody will start listening now. And
I think that's what it is, to get the media's attention, because like you said, I was telling my mom, I was like, Rodney King was a whole entire video, and that was like 19, however many years, and it's just like, that was video. We're in 2020. We have video and audio.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you hear it, you see it, you see the expressions on these people's faces, as they're doing it. I just like, I don't understand. And y'all keep doing it. Like, ain't nobody gonna, sorry, I'm saying ain't, because that's,
I get it.
Like, ain't nobody gonna see you on film doing this.
Yeah.
They are.
And that's one thing that we have, is that we are actually seeing it. But again, when they had Selma and Martin Luther King was crossing, they saw that, and so I didn't want to talk about it, but it's out there, and like I feel
it's therapeutic. Get it out your system now, because it just
and like you said, it is like a self-care thing where you may have to just like log out for a minute because it's just
Yeah.
like, oh my Lord.
I gotta breathe. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
Was there anything else that you wanted to tell our crown ones out there?
So season 3 is going to drop. My podcast is going to drop June 3rd.
Yay!
I can't believe I'm on season 3. I never thought I would say that.
Congrats.
We're going to be talking about a lot of, relationships with family. We're going to be talking about women's health issues and just, a lot of good things.
I love it.
Dealing with the self-care, self-love, sarcasm, and ratchetness.
I do self-care and self-cations, which now I'm on a permanent self-cation.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when I found out the definition of social distancing, I was like, y'all just now doing that? I've been doing that forever. Yeah, I think the only time where I was just like kind of sad was like my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother. I think she just turned like 88. And we had to do like the drive-through birthday party where she was like outside and she was waving. And I was like, oh, I can't hug her. And that was like the only thing.
Yeah, I got to you, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, social distancing. Oh, I've been doing that forever. I don't like anybody 7 feet away from me, so.
That's right.
Well, ma'am, thank you so, Miss Janae, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. I do appreciate it too.
You're welcome. And to all my crown ones out there, don't forget your crown and don't forget your crown.
Yay. Crowning, queening, always.
Yes. This is the CrownTalk podcast with ReRe. Hi out there to my crown ones. This is Rebecca, aka ReRe. Thank you so much for pressing play. If you are enjoying CrownTalk podcast, please leave a comment and let me know. And also share with other crown ones. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please. There is no machine behind me, so any support is welcome. Thank you again for pressing play, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of CrownTalk. Don't forget your crown, and don't forget your crown.